Hello everyone, I'm Manoj. In this video, we're going to see about the problems on the field of a magnetized object. Uh, to start with the problem, let's have a summarize on the bound current. Uh, Consider a piece of magnetized material with magnetization M. Uh, the vector potential that arises due to a single dipole M is given by A of R equal to mu naught by 4 pi M cross R cap divided by R square. Uh, let's take uh, using this we are going to show uh, like if I have a material which is a magnetic material uh, like this which has a permanent magnetization. Permanent magnetization is M uh, similar to the permanent polarization in the electrostatic case, so that the M actually represents M can be represented as the magnetic moment divided by the unit volume. Then this is equivalent to the bound currents and surface bound currents, where it is similar to where a polarization in the electrostatic case was equivalent to the bound charges, both the bulk bound charge and the surface bound charge. Let's take in magnetized object, each volume d tau prime carries a dipole moment m d tau prime, so that the total vector potential is like consider we have a system at a point we are going to calculate calculating the vector potential at the point R. To calculate the vector potential, we take a small volume here near the R prime. Is d tau prime. Um, uh, like d tau prime can be calculated then by then the total vector potential can be represented as A of R equal to mu naught by 4 pi integral of M R prime cos R cap divided by R square d tau prime. Then next step, here we can employ an identity to change the form of the integral. Gradient prime 1 by R equal to R cap by R square. If we are placing this in on this equation, uh, let's equation we get mu naught by 4 pi integral of M of R prime cos gradient prime 1 by R d tau prime. Like here R cap by R square can be represented as gradient prime by 1 by R. I show this image which you can understand easily. This is the image how we have calculated this total vector potential for this system. Let's say we have considered a point R near to for the vector potential to calculate the vector potential, and this is the small volume we have taken and represents the we have used this. By integrating parts using the product rule 7, where integrating product rule 7 is uh, uh, of A equal to A cross cross A plus f of 8 of A. This is the product rule 7. When we are applying this, we are getting A of r equal to mu naught by 4 pi integral of 1 by r grade prime cross m r prime d tau prime minus integral of grade prime cross m of r prime divided by r d tau prime. Then uh, when we are getting the next step as A of r equal to mu naught by 4 pi integral of 1 by r del prime m r prime d tau prime plus mu naught by 4 pi closed integral 1 by r m of r prime cross dA prime. We have written this by using the product rule 7. The first term looks like the potential of a volume current, where this first term is the volume current. The volume current will be represented by JB, which is gradient of cross M, while the second term looks like the potential of surface current, where this is the second term. We represent it as KB equal to M cross N cap, where N is the normal unit vector. With these definitions, we are representing this term by JB and this term by KBR. Where this means a magnetized object is the same as would be produced by a volume current JB, which is the volume current and the surface current throughout the material. Instead of integrating contribution of all the infinitesimal dipoles using the equation dipole moment, like we first determine the bound currents and then the field they produce in the same way. Like this is the bound current where we have defined. This is the volume current of the Let's start with the first problem. An infinitely long circular cylinder carries a uniform magnetization M, where M uniform is the which means constant magnetization M parallel to its axis. Find the magnetic field due to the M inside and outside the cylinder. For example, consider this as a cylinder. Magnetization M parallel to its axis in the z direction, and the field outside will be n cap will be s cap. It's the magnetization outside the field. Outside, we can use representing by straight by yes. I can show this in a loop diagram. This is the cylinder where the parallel axis on the outside n cap is written, which is equal to the S I have drawn. For the first step, we have to find the volume current JB. JB can be found by the gradient cross M equal to 0, which M can be the parallel axis z cap, so this will be 0. And for the surface current KB, we know that M cross N cap, where N cap is the set S cap cross Z cap, which is equal to the phi cap. So we have written as M phi cap. For example, this is looking like a solenoid of infinite length. So the field outside the magnetic field will be 0. And for the field inside, we have to use the closed integral d dot dl equal to I enclosed mu naught I enclosed. We have to use this, and by using this mu naught kb, I means the total current. For the volume current it is 0, and for the surface current we have the m phi cap. So the field inside will be mu naught m, which is pointing the upward direction, which is here the surface current is this side AB. And this is the solution of the first problem, magnetic field to the outside and magnetic field to the inside. And we can see the next problem. Problem number 2. A long circular cylinder of radius r carries a magnetization m equal to k square pi cap. The k is a constant and s is the distance from the axis, and pi cap is the usual azimuthal unit vector. Find the magnetic field due to m for points inside and outside the cylinder. Like we have consider a cylinder, and this is the distance from the axis, where k is a constant in this equation, and in the and pi is the unit vector, where we will represent the unit vector, and we have to find the magnetic field for this. Now start with by starting with the bound volume current density JB. Gradient of cos m equal to 1 by s dou by dou s s k square z cap. Now we have to find the answer of this equation. By differentiating, we get 1 by s 3 k square z cap, and s and the s square will be cancelled, and we can get pks z cap. And next step is to find the bound surface current density kb equal to m cross n cap, which is k square, and n cap is the unit vector. We have to use the unit vector pi cap cross s cap. This is it pi yes, and pi and s will be equals to the cap. So we have written this as z cap, which is the minus z cap. Hence bound current follows up the cylinder and then turns the surface. And the next, we have to find the total volume current, which is we can find the total current by integrating the volume current. Integrating the current, we get the limit of 0 to r 3 ks 2 pi s ds. The formula is that 2 pi s ds, we can find the answer as 2 pi kr cube, and for the total surface current we can get the integral of kb dl. We can return as the minus kr squared. 2 pi r is nothing but the circumference of the cylinder. By this we are getting, and by multiplication we get the minus 2 pi k r cube. Since this current have cylindrical symmetry, we can get the field by Ampere's law. Ampere's law for the is written as or inside we get closed integral b dot dl equal to mu naught I enclosed b dot 2 pi s. This is the circumference of the cylinder volume, and the mu naught 0 to s jb dA. We can return this as by getting substituted this, we get 3ks 2 pi s ds, and by integrating we get 6 pi k s cube by 3, and the 3 and the 6 will be cancelled, we get 2, we return as 2 pi k mu naught s cube. This is the field inside, and next for the outside, we know that the field outside will be 0. See the third problem. A cylindrical wire made up of a linear magnetic material of permeability mu has a current I distributed uniformly over its cross section of radius r. Calculate all the bound current densities and determine the total current. Let's see the solution. As the free current is given, we can use the Ampere's law to determine the magnetic field strength, which is given by closed integral h dot pl equal to I here find close, which is the total force current can be returned. H equal to I by 2 pi r theta cap r greater than r, where this is for outside and IR divided by 2 pi r square theta cap r less than r. This is for inside. Now we can find the corresponding magnetic field. Since the material is linear, we can write the corresponding magnetic field by multiplying the field inside by mu and the outside field by mu naught equal to just we have to write mu naught along with this mu naught I by 2 pi r theta cap. This is for the outside, mu naught I r divided by 2 pi r square theta cap r less than r. This is for the inside. We know the corresponding magnetic field, and next thus the magnetization vector m equal to b by mu naught minus h is non-zero only inside the material and is given by we have to substitute the value of b, m equal to mu minus mu naught divided by mu naught IR divided by 2 pi r square theta cap. We can now find the volume current density JB by del cross m, where m is from mu minus mu naught I by 2 pi r square 1 by r dou by dou r square k cap. By integrating we get the answer JB equal to mu minus mu naught by mu naught I by pi r square k cap. Next we need to find the surface current m cross n cap equal to mu minus mu naught by mu naught I by 2 pi r theta cross n cap. Next by getting the solution of surface current equal to minus mu naught divided by mu naught I by 2 pi r k cap. Since the magnitudes of the bound current densities are constant, the total bound current from volume is obtained by multiplying the current densities pi r square, and the surface bound current is obtained by multiplying the circumference 2 pi r. Thus, these two contributions being equal and opposite, the net bound current is 0 by uh, by uh, uh, by the net bound current is 0 by getting this uh, by by the volume and the phase current yeah, answer we getting this answer as 0. Now we can see the fourth problem. Find the magnetic field of a uniformly magnetized sphere. Uh, let's see the solution. Uh, Consider a uniformly magnetized sphere. Uniform magnetized sphere means this is a constant magnetized sphere. Uh, uh, First, we have to find the uh, volume current, uh, which is gradient cross M equal to uh, 0, which we know that magnetized volume current that inside will be 0. And next we have to find the surface current where M cross n cap is equal to M sin theta pi cap. Uh, Now a rotating spherical shell of uniform surface charge sigma corresponds to a surface current density can be written as K equal to sigma V. Uh, and sigma V can be written as sigma omega r sin theta phi cap, where this sigma omega r will be equal to m the next step uh, it follows that the field of a uniformly magnetized sphere is identical to the field of a spinning spherical shell with the identification sigma r omega equal to m. We have seen that the magnetic field inside the sphere will be equal to 2 by 3 mu naught m. This is the magnetic field inside the sphere, and the inside the sphere has a value 2 by 3 mu naught m, while the field outside is same as that of a perfect dipole, where B out uh, is equal to uh, 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the field outside the uniformly magnetic sphere. This is the solution of this problem. Hence, we have find the inside the magnetic field and also outside the magnetic field. And next problem, uh, problem number 5. A long cylindrical rod of radius r has a magnetization m0 or k cap, where r is the distance from the cylindrical axis. Find the magnetic field both inside and outside the cylinder due to the magnetization. Um, Now we can see the solution. We know that to find the magnetic field, we need to find the uh, bound current densities. Uh, the bound current densities are first we are going to find the surface current, which is nothing but the Kb, here written as K ms. Kb formula is M vector cross n cap. The M vector, the magnetic field, which was given magnetization as M0 or K cap. We are written this, and for the unit vector, we are taking K cap cross R cap. Now, K cap cross R cap will be equal to the theta cap. Uh, and next, we need to find the volume current, which is nothing but the JB. That formula is gradient cross vector. Now we see the step to find which that is equal to minus rho by rho r. m0 or r cap. Now by differentiating this, we will get minus m0 or theta cap. By symmetry, the fields at the total current enclosed within a length of L of the cylinder is m0 RL minus m0 RL, which is nothing but it cancels, which we get 0. By this, the magnetic field outside is 0. Hence, we have find the answer for the magnetic field outside is 0. Now we see how to find the inside also. Since the current is in azimuthal direction, in order to calculate the magnetic field, we need to take an ampere in loop, which is in the form of a rectangle of height L, whose one side is at a distance r from the axis and the other uh, uh, parallel side uh, is outside. Since the field is outside, it is 0, so we have to find closed integral b naught dl equal to mu naught pi enclosed. By this, we have to find the field by substituting the values mu naught minus m0 minus r minus r l plus m0 rl plus m0 rl. By um, by cancelling the terms and we get the final answer mu naught m0 rl, where which gives the magnetic field as mu naught m0 or k cap. Hence, we have seen totally 5 problems uh, on the topic of the field of the magnetized object. Hence, there are many problems. There are different problems. Uh, in the later stage, we can see many problems. Uh, and thanks for watching this video. Uh, Thank you.